going on? Okay, now it says it's live. Okay. I'm sitting here like waiting for it to give me the actual indicator. Yeah, I should put this.
Gotta turn off headphones.
Howdy. All right.
Bear witness.
Ah. Is it visible? Move the dice bag slightly. There we go. Now people can bear witness.
Fuck you! Mother mucker, go pick up the small die that fell over there.
I'll pick up no small dice.
No dice.
I will pick up small die.
Thank you. Anyway, so last time on Lost.
Yeah, it's just Lost. This isn't Lost yet.
Let's see if it changes.
All right, so do I have a fresh note sheet yet? I don't.
Give us.
Oh, they restocked it. Blessed day. Oh, more paper for me to take. All right, now I have a new note sheet. So, Mike will be here soon. But in the meantime, let us recount what has occurred.
So, a lot. Bananaman died. Bananaman jizzed in the nose of George Washington so hard he exploded.
He became a step.
Yes, but recount from your character's perspective.
Oh boy. Okay, from our character's perspective. Oh boy. So, the HGTV destruction process continues apace. It has been marginally delayed by the giant fuck banana, and the parasitic vodka. But you know what? I'll make this work.
Chillin'.
I'll make this work still.
Tito's just vibing.
I have plans. Plans and plans and plans as soon as I save all the dying children.
Yes. So how's that one thirsty child going? The one that tried to drink the vodka?
Oh yeah, he's doing great. He has a bottle of water now.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
He is being entertained by me, and also by all the other people I have gathered into my horrible my wonderful Pied Piper parade of happiness, joy, and sincere, kind love for children.
That's nice. That's nice. I like sincere, kind love for children.
Yes.
It's wholesome. It's a good time. All right, Tito, what do you think happened last time? What are your thoughts on just everything?
My children are everywhere. I gotta go save them.
That's valid. That's all that's on your mind right now?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Tito is known to have a one-track mind here. He has a bottle of vodka.
Except all the children are my minds.
No, they are copies of your mind. We've established that you do not share a
copy and
with
pasted,
them.
but still.
And they are children, so I need to protect them, and also subvert them away from their terrible, terrible father.
You know?
I've only been alive for like a minute.
And that means they're at their most impressionable.
Well,
all right, and let's see. Well, we've gotten Tito and Binkie's perspectives. So what's going on? What's going on over there, Floridaman?
Floridaman is not vibing.
Floridaman's not vibing.
Right, not doing too hot. Also, how the fuck does heal harm rolls work?
You have to spend plot points for starters.
Do you?
Yeah. If you're not healing someone else, you have to spend plot points.
Ah, yes, you do pay one.
Or rather, you always have to pay plot points. If you use it on someone else, you get the plot point back.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. You pay, and then you roll, and then if success, you get to heal some harm.
Yeah. Well, either way, before any harm healing happens,
I'm about to get fucked royally, am I?
So there were.
I think that already happened last time, Abi.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, you got fucked in multiple of your
Orifices.
countless orifices.
Actually, Bananaman.
Well, actually, yeah. What was the? So I'm sorry, I don't think we got a chance to let you finish describing what had occurred as Floridaman.
Beyond just not vibing, what's on your mind?
Yeah. What went down? Why aren't you vibing, Floridaman?
I didn't murder Bananaman.
You did kind of kill him.
How did I kind of kill him?
You gave him access to the ultimate nut.
And the ultimate nut was also the penultimate breath.
A, oof. B, that's a whole mood. C, so I became a crushed tube of Carmex.
Potentially. Except that tube of Carmex is a banana. Ice!
Is the
Ice,
mic in?
baby.
Is the mic in, or is it just ice?
That was just ice.
Nice,
Unless
baby.
Mike is on this, like, on the roof right now, like, burrowing his way through.
I mean, like, he would.
Which it would honestly be really funny if Mike just came out of
Like,
that
so-
tile.
It would also
but
be incredibly on brand for Thieven.
it would be most
Dear
on
boy.
brand if he just fell through the ceiling
Yeah.
without limbs, but I doubt Mike's gonna do that. He's foaming up the walk.
Coming up the walk, presumably.
I
Want me
would
to go
hope
get it,
so.
or do you want to?
I'll acquire a Mike.
Yeah, is it coming? He says, coming.
Foaming.
This is just weird, watching the stream and, like, seeing Jordan move, like, 5 seconds before.
I'm just comparing my dice, seeing which are in the best mood today.
I don't got no dice.
Would you like to borrow some?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna give
I
you the
don't, want,
worst.
I don't want his dice. Last time they were pretty terrible.
Yeah, no, I got shit rolls too.
Okay, so you get this pair.
I'll
Oh, of
take
course
it.
you get.
I'll take it.
Of course you get good rolls on it. Dice like you today.
Double sixes.
Let me see if I have a different pair of dice that's feeling more merciful this
Doing good too. Got an 11.
What?
Your favorite deranged, limbless Christian is coming.
It don't say here my favorite. Second favorite.
Do you know any other deranged, limbless Christians?
Only like 12.
Yeah.
Limbless?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mind you, some of them are worms.
Can the worm be Christian?
Are limbs
Conversion.
just a single, are worms just a single limb?
No.
They're a body.
Yeah.
They just-
Anyway,
It's like
So-
the full argument.
Thief and Jobless, what happened last session?
Thieven Jobless does not want to remember what happened last session.
But you gotta.
effectively,
You gotta.
some trauma from butt stuff led
Even
to
Jobless is also a dad now.
some.
No, he's a mom.
Some rampant drinking, and that rampant drinking turned into some rampant birthing inside of his stomach.
Hey, tequila's how you get babies, Steven. So instead of tequila, in this case it was vodka.
Yes, but tequila also makes your clothes fall off, and I don't think Thieven lost any clothes this past session.
Also,
You lost your emotional clothing.
I drew Thieven.
Yeah, that's about right.
Oof.
That's about right.
The tank top's kind of
Minus
tattered.
the sweat.
Anyway, so, where were we? So, Jordan?
Yes.
Jordan, I want to do that thing we talked about.
Well, I suppose we can begin with what's going on with Binkie. So yes, Binkie, what would you like to do today?
Well, there are how many dying children right now? Dozens? Hundreds? How many were there?
A lot.
A lot, okay. And I gotta save the children. I can feel their dying pain because I'm already in their head because, you know,
Hi, my question. mark?
Tito knew about me and therefore his progeny do. So, we have a container of orange juice that also knows about me. I'd like to assert direct control.
I don't like why this is.
Would you like to try to resist that control?
It's gonna be what, a partial, no matter what.
I would like to.
You can try to hinder.
Are you
you
going
have
to
the-
try and hinder?
You have the power.
Yes, I do not like being.
Okay, great.
Okay, so
I'm spending 2 plot points, 1 to boost my own roll via the fact that I am in fact already in his head, 1 to reduce his roll via the fact that I'm already in his head.
so you're rolling both to hinder and to.
No, I'm spending plot points to boost my roll and point out that he does not have leverage with which to resist.
However,
Here's
I'm not
the-
sure if you exist.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I'm not citing. I'm citing my or I'm citing our relationship aspect in order to reduce the power of his roll.
I don't know that you can just reduce by only spending plot points, because the hinder rolls don't say anything about plot points. It's just
I can't
success.
hinder. I can't hinder his hinder. So
you can roll to. Yeah, I don't know if you can roll to hinder a hinder, because then people will just keep exponentially rolling to hinder.
Anyway, so either way, my roll is boosted.
Yeah, your roll is boosted. Do you have a reason to boost a hindrance? Like, do you have a single plot point you could spend from an aspect that would make sense for you to be able to
For starters,
hinder him?
I'm not sure if he exists. So if something that I know
That makes you more vulnerable to be.
Are you citing his all in your head?
like, I'm pretty sure you don't exist. So I can argue, okay, it's either 50-50 shot. You do exist or you don't exist. I can rely on the fact I don't think you exist. I think you're just a figment of my imagination.
I have bad news. I I already got a full success.
Oh dear God, what did you roll?
2 5s.
5s, that's a 10, that's a full success. So
It's a full success that is
roll
then
your-
boosted, so even if he successfully impedes, it doesn't matter.
dear God. Well, he might as well. He
I don't
already
like
said you were
this.
gonna roll to hinder, so
I don't like this. I just genuinely don't like how. No.
roll your hinder.
Please, you could. 8. Partial. Oof.
So you're subject to consequences, but there will be none.
Okay. He has taken pity on you on this day.
But I don't like where this is gonna go, and I feel like I'm
so-
going to die this session.
I mean, in the sense of there are no consequences for me, so
Yes.
there are no consequences for him.
Yeah. So, you try to fight it, but you can't escape Binkie, not even in your own brain.
Because I'm already there. Is the problem? I've been there.
All you can feel all around yourself is just. It's like you're a child sitting in front of the TV screen on a Saturday morning watching Binkie the Bear. Except instead of watching Binkie the Bear, you're watching what's through your own eyes.
I'm taking a back seat.
Yes.
Yep.
But you're like a child sitting in a living room. It's really comfy and cozy, and you're happy. You have orange juice, and you have you have oranges.
And you've got your Binkie the Bear plush, except it's bigger than you remember. And
It moves? Question mark.
it's got its arms wrapped around you, and you don't want to lift them, but if you tried, they'd be too heavy.
And you're content.
Yes.
You're
I
happy.
don't like this. I
Yeah.
don't like where this is gonna go.
Anyway, so now, can I have your character sheet for a moment, please?
That's never a good line
I
to hear.
hate
I don't-
character sheet.
Do I have to comply with his request?
Yes, he is you right now.
Yeah.
So you can. He needs to be able to reference your aspects and whatnot in his ability to do things.
Okay.
Laptops
So,
should not be able to do that.
But they can and they will, and it's wonderful.
Okay,
because the
so-
hinges don't go to shit.
I would cite the fact that this husk. Firstly, for what everyone else sees is that this eldritch orange juice container is now also Binkie.
Oh shit!
It is Binkie faced. It is
it
both.
eldritchly shaped still?
Yes, but it's also always Binkie. Anyway, so
I mean,
You look at it, and it doesn't
Binkie-
necessarily look like Binkie,
Yeah.
but you recognize it as
Yeah.
Binkie nonetheless.
yeah, so
it's like one of those
Binkie
honey bear things.
envelops the babies. Now, one of the wonderful things about being a container is that not only is my shape uncertain and the babies were already within me, but also my temperature has never been established.
I never thought about that. Shit.
But I did. And that's why I should be in charge of you, not you. This is right. This is making the best use of your abilities.
But I get no control then.
Don't worry.
I don't like.
Binkie's smarter than you anyway.
I don't like this.
Anyway, so
don't
yeah,
like
I enveloped
like
the
that
babies in
patronizing
boiling orange
voice, man.
juice.
The babies are enveloped in orange juice.
And yeah, I'm gonna make an effort to convince them of the fact that hey, Binkie just saved you. Binkie knows what's best. Your daddy brought you into this world only to die. But Binkie actually cares about you. Binkie loves you. You should listen to Binkie. And I would like to cite the fact that I am, let's see. Firstly, this is a reasonable thing for them to believe because I did just save their lives.
Okay.
That is a discount point. One moment. I am all in their heads. And I am a beloved children's cartoon character. So that's a 3-point discount. So they now love me and resent their father.
Hey, ooh.
I cry every time. And therefore they cry.
Yeah.
They cry every time.
Let's
All right,
see.
so I've now marked that Tito's children hate Tito.
And love
Therefore they
Vicky.
hate themselves.
No, because they're not you. They're separate entities. They are your mirrors, but your reflection is changing.
Yeah.
What number would Tito Von Dakar be?
What do you mean? Like,
Well, are you
which number of the existence of
yeah?
Tito
Are
is?
you like Tito the 4th, Tito the unknown,
18th?
Tito the nth?
Tito is just the Tito. Tito?
It's a long lineage. I think this current bottle is aged finely at about a good 120.
So they hate
So the-
Tito Von Dakar the 120th.
Yes.
And also all the prior ones who still chose to reproduce despite the ridiculous mortality rates.
All right, let me just.
Also,
I mean, they've managed to survive this long somehow.
do you age vodka? Like you age
You
like
can.
with a word.
You could age any type of alcohol.
God, that's. Why does it look cool to have Tito Von Dakar CXX?
Because Dos Equis is a thing, I guess?
I'm gonna write.
Oh god, you were
CXS
already
minus.
full on mental harm.
Yeah.
I think this just gave him a snap.
You could technically not count it as harming him to take control of him.
But I lost control.
You lost control.
But like the rules for a full success on struggle are I inflict one harm and give them an aspect. The aspect is possessed. The harm is mental.
That's true. You could do that, but you could also heal him.
I could. You know what? Yeah.
There's nothing stopping you from healing his harm, his mental harm.
That's true.
Because if I do snap, he loses. He can't
Well,
use my ability.
He could still.
Yeah, because I'm not you. I'm me.
yeah,
yeah.
but you're
And in
controlling
your
me.
body.
Yeah, the thing is, if your mind is what snapped, basically you'd just be writhing around in Binkie's arms in your head,
Yeah, true.
but you wouldn't be able
I-
to control yourself in that process.
I'm gonna heal more mental harm. You can heal that mental harm. I don't know how to use this laptop.
There's like a little keyboard icon in the bottom right. And, that's
Well, fuck that. Anyway.
Yeah,
roll.
you'd have to roll to do it, but you can cite the fact that
Yeah.
you've possessed him as a reason to boost it.
Yeah, so that'll be 2 plot points to do the heal, and then I'll regain 1. This is boosted.
And it's
It's
a
already
full
a full
success.
success.
So yeah,
Getting full.
your
that's-
harm is healed.
You regain 1. You clear 1 box of mental harm.
There you go.
This thing does not.
But
hit me.
I'm gonna.
So yeah, what was
Those
your
dice
next
are lucky, man.
plan?
So
Hold up, I'm thinking.
Oh, he's staring at his
Yeah.
sheet.
Oh, I lost connection. That's why.
So I gotta decide. I gotta make a decision about ethics. My fatal flaw is uncompromising. Do you think that staying in Binkie's body is bad, or in Floridaman's body is probably bad for me, or is it a good thing for me?
I mean, I'd say it plays into the fact that you are uncompromising to just straight up possess an eldritch,
Abomination.
Juice.
non-Euclidean being in an effort to save children. I wouldn't say it's bad for you either.
I'm trying to figure out whether I get plot points for refusing to give him back his body.
I don't think it's bad enough for you.
That's fair. All right,
Because all it has done is made you ever more powerful.
that's fair. By the way, so I'm gonna. So I was already, even with the little baby vodkas, back in the space with my Pied Piper parade.
Mhm.
And I'm going to go, by the way, everyone, free orange juice. And I'm just going to start pouring out glasses of orange juice for people. It's good for you.
Good
That's
for me.
yeah.
Screwdriver.
Yeah.
So-
I'm helping them all get their vitamin C.
That's good. That's good. That's good
Yeah.
for the children.
Yes.
Okay, so how literally do we have to take our relationship text?
I mean,
What are you going to try and do?
sleep.
Well, so right now, Thieven is snapped.
Yes.
And snapped makes you have access to exclusively your fatal flaw and your relationships.
I mean, you can interpret your relationship however you want based on the wording.
So, hear me out here. Binkie is in everybody's head. Thieven Jobless is trying to debt collect via Binkie.
You're trying to debt collect from Binkie.
Binkie has everybody's arms present at the moment. Thieven wants to steal everybody's arms through Binkie being in everybody.
But how would you do that? Your limbs are mine. My limbs are not yours.
Yeah.
Yes, but I'm collecting the debt. And it's not necessarily
But by
your
what
limbs.
power? By what power are you collecting the debt?
That's why I'm questioning the direct meaning of the text.
I mean, you can.
Also, kind of like if we need to add another one in, there's a little bit of fringe on, quote, I give the good suck in my relationship with Floridaman, who you're also possessing right now. So I give the good suck through Floridaman, who is being drunk by all of these people, and their arms just kind of pop out of existence and become Thievens.
Okay, so hear me out. That would not be the good suck. That would be the bad suck.
Yeah, I would say that is definitively the bad suck.
It is high quality suck. It is not a pleasant suck, but it is high quality.
You could use the debt collection to boost a roll per NPC that you would like to steal arms from. That said, you can't use their arms.
Yes, but I can steal them, yes?
You can steal them, you can't use them.
That's fine by me.
So what are you trying to do?
Steal a mass collective of arms.
Okay, so hear me out. Your limbs are mine. Therefore, anything you manage to steal is under my control, and therefore, I just make them stay on the people that they were originally on.
But not before that they get taken off.
But there will be a moment where they're gone, and then they'll back. Everybody just goes, huh?
Even this is
I
fine.
felt like I had no arms for a half second.
Well, in the meantime, we'll continue. We'll wrap up what Binkie's doing here.
Yeah, I was just giving people orange juice.
Giving people orange juice.
And also explaining to people. I'm also teaching the children how to say no to alcohol.
That's fair.
And explaining that this is something that's okay for grown-ups in moderation.
Can I also just remind you that that orange juice is chock full of banana nut?
No, it's not.
Remember Eldritch.
I don't like that. Okay, well...
There was never banana nut in this orange juice. We never established that. This is a segmented orange juice container. And also a contiguous one. But the segment is the important part here.
Okay. Well, so you've given people orange juice.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Also, I'm possessing the container, not the orange juice itself, so you can't use the orange juice in them to steal their limbs.
Where are the glasses that you're sharing the orange juice with them coming from?
Presumably...
Oh,
I'm
no,
using
they're just
plastic
suckling. They're just suckling on your eldritch teats.
That's an option, or alternatively... we're in a CVS. We can just get plastic cups. Or better yet, reusable water bottles.
You don't like
Take care of the
non-Euclidean
planet.
teats,
Yeah.
Mike?
It's more like the idea of a bunch of people publicly sucking the teats of almost
It could
the fucking
It could be a water fountain.
Kool-Aid Man.
Jordan.
But the
The
Kool-Aid Man looks like a bear.
Possessed by the bastard offspring of Barney and Yogi Bear.
The more you add on to what's actually happening in the scene, which hasn't changed, the worse this sounds.
Jordan, technically, since it is Eldritch, water fountain.
You could just be just squirting it out of a water fountain.
Alternatively, I'm giving everyone reusable plastic bottles as well, so they can take good care of the planet.
Teaching children. So what's
We
Tito
gotta
doing
have a
right
healthy
now,
world for the. We have to have a healthy world for the children and the children's children. I can't bear the idea of them going without.
Thaddeus, what's Tito doing?
Your children hate you.
I know.
I don't think he knows yet.
So, I'm trying to remember, at the end of last time, did I manage to get any of my children inside of me? Because that's what I was trying to do.
You did get some children into you, I think.
Are those ones also affected by
Yes.
Chris at this point?
They would be.
Actually, would
The last thing that happened last time was that you met Esteemed Broccolleague.
Oh, I forgot about him.
As did I.
Right. Well.
For what it's worth, I'm assuming that the way that the children within you were removed was via that part of you was just overlapping with Floridaman's body, and then it wasn't because it never had been. But the fact that they were inside Floridaman was more important than the fact that
They were just
inside
subsumed
More
by
like-
the membrane that is Floridaman.
Yes, they were stolen via osmosis.
Wow.
God, that's awful to think about.
Where did it go?
So you no longer have your children inside you.
You just feel them leave resentfully.
Scoop.
Well.
You no longer have your children inside you. And there's a human-sized piece of steamed broccoli in front of you who looks very awkward.
Like you do.
I'm gonna offer this man a drink.
I mean, I don't see any reason for him to not take it. So I guess I'll take it. I'll take a drink.
Wait, is there lactose?
Oh yeah.
In vodka?
There obviously isn't, but this man would ask.
Is there lactose in your vodka?
You got any lactose?
This is lactose-free vodka.
I mean,
Is it-
technically, it could be.
Is
a
your
White
is
Russian.
your vodka made with milk?
If
No.
Jordan, if it was a White Russian, then the answer would be yes.
Okay.
It was made with the souls of children over the years and years.
Whoa.
That sounds pretty scary. I don't really like that. You know. Are you vegan?
Yes.
Ah! He runs away. He's now hiding in an alleyway. What do you do?
Fun.
I don't know. Do we need him for anything?
Maybe.
Don't even know what to react to that.
He's just peeking out from the alleyway. Very terrified.
Does he just want it? Does he want my vodka to be made out of meat instead?
No, he was asking if you, as a person, are a vegan.
Oh, I thought he was asking if the vodka was vegan.
Well, if it's made with the souls of children, it's not because there's animal exploitation involved.
He's still hiding in the alleyway, peeking out. Do you want to tell him that you were talking about the vodka, not you?
Yes, that's what I tell him.
Okay. You sure?
Yes.
All right. I don't like vegans being broccoli and all. You know, they eat me.
Yeah. That they do.
Well, my name is Esteemed Broccolleague. I'm. You can call me Dr. Colleague.
Of course.
I'm a human psychologist. Nice to meet you.
As in, a psychologist for humans?
Yes.
Or does he think he is human?
No, I study humans.
Okay. Well, you can study the effects of alcohol on humans.
Maybe.
Usually they end up vaguely steamed.
Yes. I would agree.
I'm gonna search the alleyway for a container to give him.
You're just
Would-
picking
is
up
that- is that a
containers
s-
off the ground.
Yep. Just looking for a good, decent container.
Well, you're not going to let him swig directly from the bottle?
No, I want him to have a store of it.
Well,
So
I would
that
say
way-
that you looking for a thing for him is a challenge for you, being that you are a vodka bottle.
Okay.
So
Your mode of locomotion is...
Force of will. Or will of spirit or something like that.
Force of spirit, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, your pure will of spirit.
So yeah, I would say to roll to overcome that challenge of finding him a glass.
That's a 9.
That is a partial success, right?
You find him a plastic instead.
Well, you don't quite non-presences on challenge. Yeah, you I will say that you'll lose a plot point, but you'll find a glass.
Fair enough. I pour a nice portion, probably of like half of it,
Half a glass.
half the glass.
That's a lot of vodka.
Yes, I want him to
Vodka.
spread the vodka.
Oh, that's a lot. I mean, I've seen some shit. He drank.
Good.
All right, so he's warmed up to you some. I will say, so he's a little less shy, and the fact that he has alcohol in him now is also kind of just loosening him up a bit. But we'll move from this situation to what's going on. What's going on with you, Thieven?
Well, Thieven did have massive arms attached to him that are no longer attached to him, are kind of just like banana mush on the floor.
Yeah, and you're just writhing and screaming, if I remember correctly.
That was happening, yes. That may still be happening. Thieven doesn't know. Thieven is no longer on this plane of mental existence.
Yeah, I can see that.
But he remembers having something. Something went right before this happened. And that was that he had arms for a brief period of time. He relished those moments. He liked having arms. He misses having arms. He wants arms again.
Yeah, Mike.
Can I please do the thing? Can I roll for the thing at least?
You can.
You can try, but the orange juice in people's systems will not give you any power to do that.
You can roll to take the arms from a person if you would like.
But which one? What arms are there that you have access to which you have access?
It's got to be through Binkie in some way or other.
But how? What arms do I have that you could take?
Everybody's arms,
But they're not mine.
but they are. They're under your umbrella.
I influence
Oh.
them, but
I came up with a bad idea.
oh, is it him stealing Floridaman's arms?
No,
That would also be a bad idea, but for a different reason.
Binkie's mental arms around Floridaman.
Oh, because they are both on a mental plane of existence.
You know? How about just all of the mental arms? Because I am on the mental plane of existence.
Oh,
Oof.
So I'm in his head to some degree.
His head is not, or his mind is not in his head right now.
But like the metaphorical head, which is synonymous with mind. So I'm there. I'm presumably aware that you're planning this.
It's not planning, it's kind of just a snap decision.
yeah, like
that's fair.
the most you would hear is a garble of random things. Like, you know, he's lost it, but amongst those things, you just hear him talking about arms, Binkie, arms.
I'd like to assert direct control.
Oh my god.
You know it's going to be a contested.
Yeah, I'm saying the fact though that I'm all in their heads to boost my roll.
Do you have anything you can cite?
The fact that I'm snapped? Question mark. I mean, like,
No.
You
I have
can't use that to
access to-
boost a roll.
my flaw. I have access to my relationships, and that's about it.
Is there anything in those
Technically my
that you
flaw
could
was-
use to boost your hinder roll?
Debt collection. If anything.
I have a partial success.
I would
since
say
then.
that taking the arms as a form of debt collection could, in your state.
But he's trying to impede my efforts not to do something yet.
Well, what I'm thinking of is his
I'm trying to do
will
something. You're trying to
that.
impede my efforts more so. with
No, I
you
was
taking
trying to
control.
preempt your
Yeah.
efforts.
I would say that his
Potato.
will to do that in this moment, because that is like all that is left in his mind is the will to take arms.
All right.
So I'd say that the will in that alone, being tied to debt collection, could be enough to, if you spend a plot point booster roll.
Also questioning mode of locomotion, will of spirit. I wouldn't have access to his things, I don't think.
No.
That being said, the idea of being drunk might be useful with that later. We'll see. But yeah, I'm spending the plot point to boost the roll.
All right, roll it. You have dice?
I do not.
Would you like dice?
Yes, please.
You have dice.
Roll them.
4.
Doubles. I get to roll again, right?
No. But it is boosted.
It is boosted,
So-
so there's a partial success hindering a partial success.
So we both
was-
fail and take the full consequences.
Wasn't your partial success boosted, or was it a fail that was boosted?
It was a
to partial
fail that was boosted to a partial success.
Oh no.
So we both suffer the consequences of a failure. What is the hard move that's going to happen?
So you have failed to take him over. And Binkie is not used to being fought back against. This upsets Binkie at like a deep level. I would say that as a result, Binkie, you need to take some mental harm.
Right.
And instead of mental harm, because he's already snapped, I would say that
It's not an option.
I would say that instead, Binkie's attempt to harm you while also hurting Binkie has also injured your brain in the portion of the area where you remembered Binkie as a childhood character that even like all
I wasn't
associations
trying
with
to
him.
hurt him. I was just trying to consume him.
Yeah, and you caused an actual like injury, a contusion in the area of his brain that remembers you.
So that's
Effectively
physical harm?
doing what?
That's physical harm to you. It's one physical harm, and you now no longer remember Binkie, which means you don't see the cartoon image of him anymore. You only see that gross, awful, bloody mascot suit, and you know your arms are inside.
Why would he know his arms are inside, though?
He doesn't remember Binkie the character. He remembers having been in that suit. He doesn't remember that suit is Binkie, but he knows that suit.
All right.
So he's been freed from the...
You've been freed from Binkie's grip.
Well, now he has to die.
You are the only human freed from Binkie's grip who has been...
I would like to establish the fact that he has always been inside the boiling orange juice section.
Yeah, as soon as
Oh no!
Give me just a second.
No. Oh no!
Thieven jobless.
It's over 400 degrees
Thieven
because it had to
jobless is now
keep the
goulash
babies
question.
alive.
Actually, it would have vaporized at that point.
I
It is
still need to
under
look at this.
sufficient pressure to remain liquid.
In a shocking turn of events.
So that is like
First with the knowledge orange juice contained was fucking terrifying.
Oh no!
so this is a struggle with a character,
Yeah, it is.
and I'm using the fact that I am an
Eldritch
Eldritch Orange
Abomination.
Juice container to boost it.
320 degrees Fahrenheit.
This particular orange juice is over 400 because it had to keep baby vodka
So you've
alive.
more than boiled it.
Yes.
Well, you could still be boiling it on the top.
What is the boiling point of orange juice? Is that
320?
Is that
320.
Yeah.
just
So
looked it up.
that is a 7, which
Weird.
becomes a full success.
You need to stop rolling successes, man.
Mike? Do you want
What
to
is
be
it-
in the orange
What is
juice?
he gunning for? Oh, being in the orange juice.
No, it's 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Not.
Alright, so hear me
20.
out.
It doesn't matter. It'll still kill him.
Thieven does not want to be anywhere near Floridaman. That is his relationship with Floridaman, is that I'm vacationing elsewhere, and with him being as stressed out and snapped as he is, he needs a vacation.
So you're trying to hinder.
You're rolling
Yes.
that you cannot be inside him because you don't want to be around him.
But he's not around him. He's inside him.
He's vacationing elsewhere. He's not
He's
going to Florida or Floridaman.
Thieven isn't around Floridaman. Floridaman is around
no.
Thieven. Okay. So
that's-
mine gets reduced to a partial success. And you also suffer the consequences of that partial success. Well, but only I reap the benefits.
Okay, so
So you get to inflict 1 harm or an aspect. But I also get to inflict 1 harm or an aspect. And then I think the GM gets to inflict 1 harm or an aspect.
yeah, you get to
Actually, no. I think that I just get to inflict both harm or both aspects, or 1 harm or aspect.
you get to deal 1 harm on an appropriate harm track, or give an appropriate aspect for the rest of the scene, and then you can also give an appropriate aspect to the rest of the scene, or to deal another harm.
Yeah.
So
they
you get the option to do 2 harm or 2 aspects.
I'm doing
or
2
one
physical harm.
How's the orange juice feeling, Thieven?
Thieven doesn't know. Thieven is passed on.
Is that how much harm were you at? I have lowered myself. How much harm were you at?
I was at 4.
Oh no.
I'm sorry, but you were free of my influence, and therefore you had to die.
So,
It's okay. Thieven has ascended to a better place where Binkie cannot touch
in
him.
a moment of
You think
clarity,
that?
in a moment of
A
clarity,
place where he belongs.
So hell?
He's
That
toxically
place where he
Christian. It would fit still.
in a moment of clarity, Thieven looks up, and in the distance, he sees an army of people surrounding the mascot suit he once wore, blood still caking it. And he sees it. And in that moment, all he can think about is the arms and legs that he will never get back. As his vision slowly turns orange, and his stumps slowly cauterize one last time.
Okay. So I am dead. I have the ability to.
You have
effectively
infinite plot points.
Spend infinite plot points to define facts about the universe. I'm going to establish the fact that in this universe, when somebody dies, their entire existence is phased out of existence.
Meaning what?
Meaning my arms and limbs and blood don't exist anymore either.
That's alright. I'm bigger than you now.
Yes, you're in everybody's heads, but now
Yeah.
your suit can no longer locomote.
Yeah, but I've got...
Next.
Yeah, but I have, Floridaman now, so that's okay.
This is fine.
Okay, well,
I'm
technically
establishing
speaking,
it by
he's not dead yet. He is dying. And until he makes his next action move, or ends the scene, he is still technically alive.
Who's technically
How's
still alive?
that?
So you aren't dead yet.
You are boiling to death.
You're boiling to death, but you can add as many facts about the world as you want until you choose one action that is a guaranteed success. You cannot obviously heal yourself.
But he is still snapped, correct?
Yes, he's still snapped, but it doesn't matter because everything he tries to do, if he does an action, is a 10. So he gets one guaranteed action. And
But there
an
are certain
infinite number
actions
of
that
plot
he would
points.
need to cite aspects in order to perform in the first place.
not necessarily. That would be only if he wanted to boost his roll.
But even for things like he couldn't have stolen limbs if he didn't have a way to steal the limbs. You need a way
But
to
it would
do
be
something.
that would be
for-
something that the character would have to do himself. I'm not spending plot points to do things myself. That would have to be the action.
Yeah,
Which
that'd be the
would
s-
still
And
base
the thing
off
is,
of
once
the snap as
once
well.
you make an action move, it is automatically at a 10. But once you do that, that's when you die. So he has a successful roll
Yeah.
on the back burner. So what are you doing to the universe? You're saying that your arms...
Will phase out of existence.
Arms and legs and blood and everything that was a part of me will phase out of existence when I phase out of existence, effectively, like dying. Kind of just all vanishes.
Okay. So your arms will phase away as well as your legs when you phase away.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have other things you'd like to add?
I don't have to add them all right away, do I? I can wait and add some over time.
You have until
the end
scene
of the, yeah,
ends.
until the end of the scene. You can.
At which
continue
point
to
you
add
just
facts.
die. Speaking of which, though, is anyone actually interacting with Thieven? Beyond the fact that I am boiling him to death?
I
can't-
mean, Esteemed
think-
Broccolleague was nearby, but like he's no longer
Sober.
paying attention to that. He's distracted by Tito.
Yeah.
You might offer him a drink.
How? He's inside a vessel of orange juice. You can't reach him.
Just pour one out for
Pour one out for your homie.
You're dying, boiling to death, homie.
Wait, what is the point at which vodka catches on fire?
When it's
Oh.
exposed to fire?
It is so it's not.
What is the flashpoint of vodka?
It's
well,
not,
actually, that wouldn't be the case because
it's not
it is
easily ignitable. Like you can't just like hold a lighter over it to catch it on fire. You'd have to
Okay.
like
because there's a lot of water in it.
Yeah, you'd have to actually like catch it
Okay.
on fire.
So I was just wondering if you pouring one out for a homie into a vessel of 400 degree
No,
That would
vodka
not be
would-
nearly
or
enough,
Orange
no.
juice would it'd be enough to
55
make.
degrees question mark.
Celsius.
Probably.
That seems...
That is oddly low.
Yeah, that doesn't seem right.
I'm gonna establish also that when I phase out of existence, it takes the form of a spirit flame.
Meaning?
I'm enabling this.
Alright. I'm apathetic to fire in my orange juicy husk.
Hold on, I found it. All right. So I'm assuming it's by volume, right? So what?
What are you
80
trying to
proof,
do?
80 proof alcohol is what?
We've established that he's going to catch fire when he dies, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, anything else before you pass away?
Scene's not over yet. Maybe.
I'm ending the scene if you're not done, because nothing else is happening here. May I set a timer?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
I said
I'm fine with it the way it is.
Alright.
Okay, so you're satisfied?
I'm satisfied enough.
Okay, so in that case, are you going to make an action before you combust into the spirit flame?
Oh, let's see what I even could do.
You have no limbs. You have your relationships.
You are free to struggle with a character or overcome a challenge in your dying moments.
No, that can't work.
Random aside, the resonant frequencies in the orange juice result in your ears being bombarded with the sound of the Binkie theme.
I don't like that.
It doesn't change anything.
I know.
He can't remember that theme.
He's forgotten it.
It's that part of the brain has been burned out of existence.
You
Your
literally
capacity for memory is gone?
you
no,
injured
my
his
capacity
memory
for memory
centers.
of specifically Binkie.
Yeah, you injured his memory centers that stored the schema for Binkie.
Okay, we could put
And
it
he's
somewhere
in a-
else in his brain.
He's having a mental
Not
break. I
anymore.
don't think he's learning new things right now.
I don't need him to learn new things right now. I just need to establish a subliminal point of contact to take over the afterlife. Binkie Bear. He's the binkiest,
So,
beariest
logistically,
bear.
Thieven wouldn't need to resist this, but I think mechanically he kind of has to. It's still at a natural 10.
So your last action is going to be making sure you forget me before you go to the afterlife?
I mean, I've already forgotten
Oh.
you. My
Okay, to
last
make sure you
action
don't
would be to
remember.
ignore this
Technically
annoying-ass child's tune.
technically speaking, you could overcome the challenge of not hearing it, or you could try to convince him to not.
That gives me a roll to resist, of course. Like, he gets a 10, but I still roll that.
Sure. Would you like to just overcome the challenge then, to avoid having the binkiest bear in your brain?
Yeah, it's just going to be a broad overcome challenge.
Okay.
Alright,
So
you do
you have
not
a
bring
success.
Binkie with you into the great beyond.
Your screams managed to drown out the music. Congratulations.
Binkie Bear.
And with that, Thieven dies, erupting into a brilliant blue spirit flame,
Rip.
Rest in peace, Rest in peace.
including his arms and legs, and the blood that was inside the Binkie suit.
So the Binkie suit's now clean?
The
Question mark?
Binkie suit's now on fire.
Ah,
The Binkie suit was also inside of an orange juice container, and therefore the orange juice extinguishes it.
The suit wasn't inside of the orange juice container. The Binkie was.
Both were. Now.
because Eldritch.
The suit's always been inside the orange juice
Unfortunate.
container.
All right.
Here's
The
the
suit,
Strange.
before the suit was able to fully extinguish the flames, it takes one harm.
That's fair.
And then the vodka that was poured in ignites. I don't know what that does.
I assume nothing because it's in glass.
It looks neat.
Yeah.
It
I
erupts
mean, it
into
could
a
crack.
erupts into a blue flame, vaguely shaped like Thieven, with his limbs again.
I make sure no one sees it over the superposition of the Binkie image.
What would be the concoction of banana that is akin to whatever has been splooged into Floridaman?
That's not the part that had Thieven, though.
But it also is the part that had Thieven.
But it isn't.
It never was, but it always was.
And I'm the decider there because you're dead.
I'm just looking up some information.
So,
What effectively would this banana juice be?
well,
Pulp?
banana sperm.
Is that an actual thing that can be searched?
No.
I don't think so.
I would not recommend.
It's basically just banana pollen, but with cilia, I'd imagine. Or with a flagellum.
I mean, all pollen is explosive because it's powdery.
But it's in a goop.
Yeah.
It's pollen goop.
Yeah. Alright, so let me
All right.
think.
Well, so
By the way,
that's
you're
occurred.
dead.
So we'll jump back to. So how's it going, Floridaman? How's
I can't
just
do.
watching everyone suckle your orange juice?
For starters, it's not suckling. It is water gun.
It is being deposited into water bottles.
Reusable water bottles.
Yes.
Also-
Reusable, good for the planet.
How
water
does it?
bottles.
How does it feel?
I don't know. Question mark. Cause this is basically basically me has a kaiju question mark.
Would you like to?
I can't do anything about. Here's the thing, though. I can't do anything about my situation. This man has controlled my facilities. I'm just sitting here watching TV with a very, very large Binkie doll.
Would you like to try to stop that?
Do you want to try and stop that?
Do you wanna?
Do you want to try to want to stop it?
Do you want to struggle with Binkie?
It's going to be the original session, Jordan. At this point, where I have to pay for him to not kill me.
I mean, I'll say this: you've just witnessed the death of Thieven.
That's a good thing, though.
Toxically, he's my
gives a
toxically Christian fuck buddy? Question mark.
Yeah, but also like
Heal.
he was the villain in this show you're watching.
You still witnessed the death of.
Are you
Thieven.
really gonna root for
boiled
the bad
a
guy?
man to death.
Inside of you? Well,
Right.
inside of what's inside of you.
Also, so I looked up flammability of orange juice. Oranges happen to be one of those fruits that are surprisingly flammable.
Yeah.
Because of the high
Oil.
sugar content.
It says here,
From
a
the
pitcher
oil.
of orange juice may not be easily set alight.
but it can.
Can be set alight still.
Oh dear God! So there's
You know what?
there's flames on the orange juice.
Okay, even if there are flames spreading through the orange juice, I can just shunt them into a compartment where the orange juice is running low and let them burn out there. No consequence.
However,
We done.
I would take harm. Would he take harm? Would Binkie take harm?
No, it's been shut. Why would your orange juice burning hurt you?
Less orange juice.
That's well,
He's
he
a
just
container,
contains
though.
it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's
Even
not
if
his
he's
blood.
empty, it's
yeah, I
fine.
do take, but remember, I take damage.
Yeah, but it's to your glass, and fire doesn't damage glass unless it's real hot.
Yeah, it would be the temperature differential that would cause the glass to
Right.
damage, not.
And
just
we have no
heating it.
reason to think that orange juice burns that hot.
That being said, I feel like it could. I mean,
Do you want to take harm?
I want to kill you.
But, like, you wouldn't be killing me. You would just be killing yourself.
So I have no control of my faculty. Okay, so Jordan, let me get this.
Pollen also happens to be extremely flammable.
Huh?
I'm googling
Yeah,
all sorts
pollen's
of things.
flammable. That's true.
But this is called pollen goop. Anyway, you know what? I'm going to...
Let me finish. Let me think first. Shit.
Because-
I'd like to convince him that he's better off like this.
Do you want to fight that, Abi?
I want to fight that. I don't want to be a brain in a jar.
You're not a brain in a jar. Or you were always a brain in a jar. Now you're a
I'm
subset of a brain in a jar.
A jar that is shaped like a brain instead?
Alright. Okay, so you're refusing a player character's convince attempt. I got a roll. I'm boosting it with the fact that I am in his head and also possessing him.
Right.
Alright. That is a full success after the boost.
You rolled like what, a 5?
No, I rolled a 7.
Oh. All right.
All right, and what is?
So it's a full success. I can't really play any aspect. I have no aspects that I could use. I can't.
Well, you can. So refusing a player character's convince attempt works slightly differently.
Yeah, there are rules for it. There's a move. Did you roll?
I haven't rolled yet.
Okay, you
'Cause
got to do that because that'll determine what happens.
On a success, because basically, yeah, like
Firstly, I would like to establish how much I have to pay. I'm offering something of value in exchange, which is comfort and security, and knowing that someone who knows how to use his terrible power is in charge.
But
I am citing his aspect of being possessed to reduce the cost. I'm using the fact that it's all in his head, and the fact that I'm a beloved character to reduce the cost, so I only have to pay 1 plot point.
so you reduce it from
3 to 1.
okay.
I cannot reduce it below 1.
And Abi, your roll.
I'm gonna reroll as I dropped it.
3 and a 2.
5 fail. Rip.
I'm sorry.
What is with my... Have I rolled a full success at all in this campaign?
I think you have.
Like, I think once. And that was just to get out of something.
Yeah. It was...
That was an...
You had, like, a situation where you rolled a success. So, in this case, you are convinced
I lose a plot point.
and you lose a plot point.
Yeah,
so I'm basically fucked at this point.
Yeah, you are effectively dead as well.
To be completely fair, as this is the last one, you're not entirely kerfuckled as it feels.
Like, what can I do? I can't control anything.
You can have the power that you were given in death.
He's not dead, though.
Not yet.
But if I die, he's still controlled. If I die, does the Eldritch Being die with me?
Yes, it will burn
its
up.
Control over that body dies.
When things die in this universe, they burn up.
But if there are multiple minds in a body, does the original mind die and kill it? Either way,
I feel like
that's not
there.
an issue we're going to run into, because I'm going to take better care of this body than you ever did.
Well, but it's not so much the mind that is associated with the body. It's like who the body belongs to.
You don't, and the body belongs to me now because I'm the one using it.
But it's still my body. You're using it, but doesn't mean you own it.
And possession is 9/10 of the law.
But this is a weird ass RPG where
No shit.
All right, how much physical harm do you have right now?
I have a decent bit actually. I have 3 physical harm, so I have 2 slots. I have like.
You need 3 more to die.
Okay, so I'm going to attempt to heal him.
Can I refuse that?
No, you can't.
He can't. So what he can't do is make you no longer in control. That said, he could try to resist being healed.
Why would you do that, though?
Maybe he just wants to die.
Yeah,
but
I have no purpose in life. Like I'm just sitting here watching.
But that's okay.
That's.
You're being taken care of
But
by
like
Binkie,
not
who
having a
loves
purpose.
you.
But not having a purpose in life is genuinely depressing.
But you have a purpose, and it's to let Binkie use your body.
But is that the purpose I want?
Yes.
That's the thing.
Yes.
It is
That is what I
currently,
persuaded you of.
But if anything, all I would say is that would boost your chances to heal him. But he can still continue to fight.
But either way,
If I die, I die, and like I take my Eldritch Being with me. So fuck it.
you won't at this point, because I'm spending a single plot point to establish that this body is mine now since he surrendered.
I haven't surrendered.
I did specify that
surrender,
when
you
people
failed.
die, their body burns up with them. If there's no
Yeah,
body
but this
to
is
burn
my-
up with him, then
He's not
does
so much
die.
dead as he is locked away
Yeah.
inside his own brain.
Which
Yes,
is
exactly.
fucking terrifying and depressing at the same time.
No,
Jesus Christ.
but it's the best possible place because you're surrounded by things that love you. Everyone loves you. You're part of Binkie now.
But I take social harm? Question mark.
I don't think you have that track anymore. You're not a social being anymore. You're just a part of Binkie.
I don't like where this is going, man.
I do.
Everybody is Binkie.
Everybody who can't be trusted to not be Binkie.
That
is
Binkie's OP, please, nerf.
No. Too late for that, motherfucker.
I've been asking this for days.
All
Jesus
right.
Christ.
So
I mean, to be fair, I've been playing my Eldritch Orange Juice container.
Yeah.
Let me take a look at your sheet real quick.
Oh, yeah. You
Hair
basically
fall.
garroted yourself.
well,
Yeah.
wait. So wait, what happened here? So you
Like, this is like, I have skills, it's just that I didn't use my skills to its full effect.
you convinced
fine.
him
I'm
not
looking at
to
something.
fight.
Yeah, I convinced him that he's better off with Binkie running his life.
Tito, how much vodka do you have in you?
So scary.
Let's see, I just emptied about half of it.
So it's just a normal vodka bottle, not an Eldritch vodka bottle.
No, his is just a normal vodka bottle.
Imagine if it was an Eldritch vodka bottle.
There's a thing I'm reading on the wording of this that I don't like. It says an eldritch container full of orange juice with limbs, which could imply that the orange juice itself has limbs, and I don't like that.
That ambiguity is just more power for me now.
Oh no.
Bothersome.
Anyway,
Weird.
I become a paramecium. An Eldritch paramecium with all its limbs. Would it be flagella? Question mark? It wouldn't be flagella. It would
If
be
it's
cilia.
that many, it would be cilia.
Yeah, so
Anyway.
flagella is like the one. What else?
One other thing I want to look.
Anyway, yeah.
So
You're better. You've accepted that you're better off with Binkie running your body.
God, that is
Depressing.
Broken.
all right. Well, we're gonna jump ahead from this.
Do I just give up then? Because I'm basically
You
dead?
failed your role.
Have I actually rolled? I've rolled one success in this fucking campaign. This man has rolled a success. This man has not failed a roll at all.
He's
I've
been using
failed repeatedly.
Yeah, he's
I
been
failed
using a lot of plot points to boost his rolls.
How
And
many
also-
also does he have?
I only have 5 left.
That makes sense.
So
I haven't used any of our points.
let's check
Well,
in.
that would explain it.
I don't-
See, here's the thing. If you want to be good at games, you need to understand the rules.
Fair. But I'm
And
trash.
Binkie was conceptualized with the notion of this is the most powerful character you can make since Flupso, based upon the modifications that were made to to the rules after Flupso. Well, howdy, Mitch.
Hello.
But yeah, so okay, you have let's see.
Anyway,
We'll go for another like 10 to 15. So your situation's kerfuffled. Thaddeus.
Do I just give up? Do I just don't roll anymore?
How's Tito doing with Esteemed Broccolleague?
I'm gonna see if he wants to go on a trip and leave everything behind and get far, far away from where we are.
I'm already inside you. You can't escape.
Can I bring my roommate?
Only Thieven was able to escape.
Who's your roommate?
Well, he's not really my roommate, but he stays over. Like, he's my best friend. His name's Reginald.
Is he also a broccoli?
No, I study him. Don't tell him that though.
Sure. Bring Reggie.
All right, let me dial in.
What the fuck?
Hey, hey, Reginald, you wanna join me? We're going on vacation with what was your name?
Tito.
With Tito. He's a vodka bottle. Yeah, sure. And so Reginald Normalman steps out of the door nearest to you in the alleyway, like he just lives there.
Okay.
He steps out and is like, "Hi, Reginald."
What does Reginald look like? Is he a normal person?
Well, his identity is human. If that, his last name is Normalman.
Oh no.
Wait, you didn't name him Reginald Normalman?
Nope, it's Reginald Normalman.
You didn't name him Norman Normalman?
Nope, Reginald Normalman.
So many missed opportunities.
Intentionally missed opportunities.
Can I ask Esteemed Broccoli to call a taxi or an Uber?
I don't know. Reginald, you want to take this one? Yeah, sure.
Alright. Reginald, call a taxi for us.
Alright. He calls a taxi. Taxi comes.
Get in, kids, or go to the beach. go on a cruise.
Don't worry.
Are there gonna be a lot of
coming
people
with you.
there?
I have no doubt.
Alright, oh well, I'll deal. Alright, so you guys are in the taxi now, heading towards the cruise, I
Yeah,
guess.
we're going to the harbor.
Why is your plot the most normal? You can say that you're a vodka bottle.
Consider who the other characters were, and that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
We had one human in the group, and that human had no limbs.
That human is dead. That human is now vaporized.
Thankfully. Not vaporized,
Thankfully
boiled,
for him at the very least.
and then incinerated, which is not the same as vaporized at all.
So you've
Why?
taken Reginald with you in the taxi to the harbor.
Self-vaporized, self-incinerated.
Was there anything going on? He's just talking in the car ride.
Who's the taxi driver? What's he think of the situation?
Ooh.
I would imagine he's enthralled that Binkie the Bear, who he sees transposed over this eldritch orange juice container, is in the back seat, while simultaneously containing the entire car.
So, so you get in the car.
$800.
Right. So, Tito, you climb into the car, and you're greeted. Hello. My name is Alexi. I am your taxi driver today.
Take us to the nearest harbor.
Yeah, I love the harbor. It reminds me of Soviet banana.
It said banana.
You are now in the taxi of Alexei Pyotr, the Soviet Bananaman.
Fair enough. Do you accept payment in the form of vodka?
No,
He does not.
we don't drink vodka.
Ew.
We don't make vodka in Soviet banana. Vodka is with dirty ground vegetable like potato. We use onion.
I mean, you can use corn. Could make onion vodka. Onion.
Can I ask Reginald or Esteemed Broccolleague if they have any
Broccolleague?
Broccolleague, if any of them have funds on them?
I don't know. I don't get paid for like another week. I don't really want to spend my money. Yeah, I have money.
Perfect. Can you cover the trip to the harbor?
Yeah.
Good. I don't know what to do with his character. It's so weird.
So you want to know what his fatal flaw is?
Yes.
That he can't say no, literally. That's why he's just agreeing to do everything you suggest.
Oh no.
I'm still curious how the fuck his alienation is gonna fit into all of this.
Just yes, man.
All right, so you're at the harbor now. Reginald doesn't have the money.
That would make sense. That's how it fits.
You could just, like, dash.
All right. Here's the thing. I'm gonna turn to.
You don't have money.
Would you like to go on a
Alexi
cruise
need
with us?
money. Does cruise have onions?
Probably.
Reginald responds.
Maybe. You like children? Are there children on cruise?
Yeah.
What is this man's interest in?
I hate children. Wait. Soviet banana children?
The fuck is this character?
Sure.
Hey! I love Soviet
Vodka
banana
children.
cruise lines. We've had all cruise lines for so long anyways. Soviet banana's the best.
There's a giant red star on the side of the cruise line.
No.
And inside of that giant red star is a sickle that instead of being a sickle, it's a banana. And a hammer, for no reason.
No. The hammer's head is made out of 2 onions.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes, that is how it works.
So it ends up looking kind of like a dick and balls.
You know, as you just have to be careful. Like, I'll have to take my time getting on the cruise. My bones are kind of weak.
We could drive the taxi onto the cruise ship.
It says no cars on ship.
You could spend a plot point to say that doesn't apply
I know.
to
I know.
taxis.
Drive my taxi onto the ship.
Well, what are you gonna do with your taxi while we're off?
I don't know.
Crash it into Eldritch Being? Question mark.
I only
Carry it
have.
with Eldritch Beams.
I only have
spontaneous
32
lines.
onion skins left. How am I supposed to afford the taxi?
How do you buy original taxi with onion skins? That's my question.
Currency of Soviet banana.
Let me look at your sheet again.
Oh, my bad.
What is that?
Hey, I'm going to spend a single plot point.
Oh no! What is this aspect you're adding to the world?
It's going to
Never
be
specifies
that
solid.
taxis aren't considered cars for the purposes of whether or not they're allowed on cruise ships.
You just drive a taxi onto a cruise ship.
Yeah.
That is still being
I mean, I was kind of hoping you'd try to just ask Reginald to do it, but fair enough.
I think this is
Actually,
a
wait,
faster solution.
That is a faster solution. Alright, it's in the car, but I mean, I'll Google cruise ship rules. It says taxi, no car. Alright, let's go.
A taxi is legally considered an onion, in fact, under Soviet banana laws.
Soviet banana, always no best, you know.
Instead of being considered a lemon, it's considered an onion.
Taxis have layers.
Every time it like goes ka-chunk, you just smell like a waft of onion.
Yeah.
It drives on onion oils.
It literally burns money.
And eyeballs.
Alright, let us go.
It does result in Soviet banana having a much less severe air pollution issue than a lot of the rest of the world.
So you're now on a cruise ship
Yep.
with Alexei Piotr, Reginald Normalman, and Esteemed Broccolleague.
Yep. We're going on holiday.
Is that the end of your character's arc?
Yes.
Okay. So all of you just go off on the cruise ship. You're having time. Just goes the cruise ship.
And then we get lost at sea and everyone has to drink me.
God, they could just pee in you and it would turn back into vodka. That's awful. I don't like that.
I mean, vodka already kind of tastes like piss.
So, I'm just writing at sea.
Important question for
Let's see.
Tito. What percentage of vodka from Tito spawns children?
Any.
So all of it?
Yeah, literally any drop that gets consumed by anybody becomes more.
But so like if you've got like a mass of it, like the entirety of that mass becomes children.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
My turn?
Well, we are back in the situation going on with.
I'd like to spend some plot points.
To do what? Because you've already...
Eldritch, okay, I never specified what state of matter this Eldritch container is. I want to say it's a gas.
How many plot points do you have?
All of them.
You're not dead.
You're not dead.
I'm not dead. I have 15.
Okay,
and
but
how many
Although there's
aspects do you
no-
have right now?
that actually contradicts the existing thing that we've established, that he is all things at the same time.
But I am but I am also all matter.
So you're gas, but you're also solid simultaneously, and you can't stop being solid simultaneously because that's been
how many
established.
aspects do you currently have?
I'm not fucked on. I have.
No,
one.
not temporary. Only
Yeah.
you're set in stone.
I think you can
I
clear
am
out every
horny,
temporary
dumb
aspect.
things, cannibal. That's 3.
So you just have 3?
I have 3 main, and I have like the pleasure, gaped, and turned on by wall.
Yeah.
You can turn
Te-
off all
temporary
of those
ones
except
don't count in
possessed.
this.
Yeah.
You can spend 10 plot points to add an aspect to yourself. That said, it cannot refute an aspect or a rule that has been established already. So
Right.
you could just add the fact that the new general aspect that
I am now gas.
that without Tito near you or something, you turn into gas, or that like when a bird poops on you, you turn into a gas permanently. Any of those works. Like you can just you have to give yourself a clause.
All right. Okay. I can.
Like
do this.
you
I
can't
can do
be a
this.
gas at all times.
Without Thieven inside me, because he is now dead. I am now a gas.
But
Well,
you have
Thieven hasn't
previously been
always
solid.
been
Yeah,
inside
you've
you.
previously been solid without Thieven inside you.
Right, but he's not there anymore. Oh, right. You're right.
But yeah,
Yeah, give yourself a logical reason.
Logical.
For like an elder god. I don't know. You could. Deities have weird weaknesses, man.
Yeah.
The elder god painting orange juice, trying to have sex with so many.
But
men.
he'd already not had sex for substantially more than 10 minutes.
I don't know
When
how
the
long.
game
I don't know how
started.
long. I don't know
It
how
took
long.
him
it's
more
been.
than 10 minutes.
I don't know how long it's been though. That's the thing.
It took you more than 10 minutes to reach HGTV in the first session, and you didn't turn to gas.
Okay. So
Yeah,
how long? No, hold on. Actually, I was just saying 10 minutes. How long
Maybe
has it been?
self-pleasure?
I don't know. You could just say that past a certain amount of time, not being able to try to have sex with things, you turn into
I'm just.
a gas.
I'm
Because
just
like you have just been like water fountaining orange juice, like that's what your body's been doing, and that's not sex, and you've been doing that for a while.
Right. I'm not.
I'd like to establish that it's the dominant consciousness that regulates an elder being's weaknesses, and not the and not the original consciousness.
I wouldn't say that it applies to the consciousness at all, because he's just not emphasized, but like he's just explaining a fact that has always been about his character by spending these 10 plot points. So it would be more so about his physical presence.
All right.
So if he has a valid reason,
You know, I am in his head. I would have known this. So I've regulated a small corner of his being to constantly masturbating.
But I wouldn't consider masturbation as sex.
Binkie does.
Yeah.
Binkie does, I don't.
Yeah, but what you think doesn't matter anymore.
But
I mean,
I'm spending
I'm
a
not
plot
saying
point
that
to establish
Binkie
that
thinks that-
masturbation is sex.
in this universe.
Yeah, assuming you are spending your 10 plot points to establish that aspect.
Oh no, that is the most. God, why wouldn't? This sounds like such a Thieven thing to establish.
What is being established? I'm zoning here.
Masturbation is sex.
Yes.
hold on, does my character know that I've murdered Bananaman?
No, you just know he didn't come back.
But he did come. Repeatedly.
I don't like that. So you can
Because,
spend.
hold on, I'm gonna word this. Here's how I'm gonna word this. Because I haven't, me personally, haven't knowingly killed anybody. Would it be my fault that Thieven died?
No, because I was the one in control of the body.
It was your body's fault, not your character's fault.
Right. Because my character hasn't knowingly killed anybody. Because I don't know if Bananaman's still alive or not.
Mm-hmm.
What are you trying to say?
I'm just trying to word me being just gas and not being able to being straight up gas. I am gas now. I am a gas eldritch being.
But what is the condition that turned you to the gas?
What context?
Because I haven't known, because as soon as I murder somebody, I become solid again, and it's going to be like that for every minute I don't murder somebody.
That wouldn't make sense though, because you'd spend an extended amount of time.
Yeah,
not hurting
you have
people.
spent a good number of times not murdering.
I don't know. It's hard to like put this in like shit that makes sense.
I understand that you want to deprive me of your mortal husk, but
I
I'm
am
going to fail because I still have enough plot points to hard counter anything you come up with.
I mean, I know an easy out that doesn't require you to do anything with your character himself. But I'm not gonna give it to you. So graciously,
Can you,
I want
can you
you
tell it to me?
to come up with. Well, it's not that strange.
I just want to know so that I can see if it's actually as good as you think.
Shit, I need this. Oh my god, I haven't been doing this in these past few sessions. Let's be real.
I follow.
I feel like
I could hard counter
Simplest
that
solution.
really easily though,
Maybe, but he has many plot points.
and I can quickly generate plot points.
Sure.
could you though?
Yeah.
That said, you can't spend plot points to refute an aspect of the
Yeah,
world.
but I can negate them by making them irrelevant.
But I still, since I do have 15 plot points, can I just make plot points making shit about myself and just make Chris spend all of it?
Well, you can't do it about you.
That
'Cause
costs more.
It costs 10 plot points to
Right.
add an aspect.
But
to
then it
yourself.
costs him 1 point to change that aspect because it's
Well,
not about.
No,
you
to-
can't change
to
an
establish
aspect
that
about
it's
the world.
irrelevant
You
for
could
some reason or
add
another.
to it maybe,
Yeah.
but you cannot change the.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot
say things
reverse
about
the initial.
I can say things about the world that counter whatever you say about yourself in order to protect
because fucking,
my new possession.
because fucking Eldritch. Because I may possibly be one of the most powerful characters.
Yeah,
but I haven't
you
been.
have a very powerful body,
Right,
And
but
you
I
no
and
longer
Binkie
have it.
has control over your power now.
he has a powerful brain. I have a powerful body.
And now I have a powerful body too.
something Dio question mark.
Oh
something-
god, I'm basically just Dio. but a Dio that loves children.
I mean,
Oh no, we don't know that Dio hated children.
he hated dogs.
Yeah.
He hated dogs.
And dogs are like emotionally children.
But we've never seen him hate children. He had kids, but we don't know that he hated them.
That's fair.
He could have seen them as Yes, more me. Yeah.
Which is a road to abusive parenting, as your children inevitably do things that you do not approve.
He's a vampire. He's already abusive existing.
Fair enough. Anyway.
So, anyways, yeah. Do you have an out over there, Florida man?
I am thinking of an out. Like, I can't turn myself into gas because again, Chris can hard counter, and since I'm spending a lot to change one small aspect of a decent aspect of myself, like I can't because also you have to take into consideration I have to work in the fact that the world's already been established.
I'm going to spend a plot point to establish that if 5 minutes of real world time pass between someone being possessed, their mind just ceases to exist and the body belongs to the possessor.
So specific.
Can he do that?
I would say that it goes against the already established stuff that's happened, because I would say that the time you've spent possessing him has already been more than 5 minutes.
Okay,
so.
in that case, rather than 5 minutes, however long it's been since I started possessing him, plus 2 seconds. 1, 2. Bam.
That's bullshit.
You're right.
Actually, well, if you want to modify an aspect, it is in fact one plot point if it's positive or neutral, and you gain them if it's negative to you in some way.
But it's fuck.
So you could technically gain plot points to say that there's issues with your body's existence in certain circumstances, but
Okay.
I've started a timer. You have 50 seconds.
I don't like this.
Tick tock, tick tock,
Don't pressure me.
tick tock.
Shut up, Chris. God damn.
Tickety tockety tickety tock. You can't escape the clock.
Chris, scroll up for me for a second.
I
Spinky.
Scroll up for a second, please.
But I can't. The fact that it has to already exist. I spend 10 plot points to delete myself and my existence from the universe.
You can't.
You can't do that.
Because that.
Yeah,
changes
that
the
would fuck.
You could hypothetically make a fact about the world. Spending
Or
a plot
like
point.
you could just accept this inevitable course of
I'd
events.
like to spend a plot point, and this entire world is a figment of my imagination.
That contradicts what we already know.
Not your relationship with him.
But what it still comes is
You can add a fact about the world,
Time's up.
but you
I've
can't.
consumed
I would
him.
say you can't do that one.
Yeah, I've consumed him. It's too late.
so I'm dead.
You're not dead.
What the hell am I now? Like, do I just not exist? I can't I can't do anything.
You're-
There's have to be a
you're a part of
mechanical
me.
equivalent to it.
Like,
You're just a part of me.
I would say that this
You know
is
how-
equivalent to death.
You know how anglerfish, the males will bite onto
yeah,
a
and they
female
just like absorb
slowly
into
dissolve into gonads? Yeah, your body
So
are
just
the
like,
gonads.
just imagine like the
that-
arms
but
on
that's-
the arms hugging you and your brain self are now also you.
I don't know. I mean, I can't.
That said, I'm going to say that that's equivalent to death.
Right.
I'd say there does need to be some sort of mechanical function to that, given that that is part of the system that we're working with here. It needs to stay fair.
Like I would say that it is equivalent. It is equivalent
You
to a
gotta throw
form
me
of
something.
death based on mental.
Right.
Um,
I mean, and I've had all control taken away from me. I've been trying
Yeah.
to fight and I've failed.
like
so I
you
would-
are effectively no longer mentally alive. Your body exists, but it is no
I
longer.
am just
you.
brain dead, and
You're not brain
so-
dead.
this
You're
guy
just
just carjacked me, basically.
you're just
He's
consumed.
body
I'm just along for
jacked
the
you.
ride.
He's body. No, you're
Yeah.
not even along for the ride anymore. You
I am
are
the
him.
ride.
Yeah, you are part of. You are the ride and the driver, but like the
As a part
driver's
of,
hind.
you are
brain.
now just also Binkie,
Yeah.
which I would say is a form of death in and of itself.
Excuse you, Binkie is very much alive.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm
Florida
saying
Man
that
doesn't
Florida
necessarily know
Man,
Has died.
Florida Man's consciousness no longer exists,
It exists as a part of Binkie.
which I'd say is a form of death. Because
By
there's
what
no
standard?
there's
One would
no
assume- because one
no
would
more
assume
individual-
there's no
consciousness-
there's no conscious control.
Fair
Like
enough.
he can't think.
All
And if
right.
we want to get into like
If we're gonna get
misinterpreting
into the
Descartes in
aspects
here,
of what makes something
He doesn't
alive,
think, therefore
there's
he
a lot
isn't.
of things we need to question.
So
That's
di-
fair.
or
so
therefore
I-
he amn't.
So basically, Descartes is right. Descartes. I
Oh,
think
God.
before I am.
Descartes.
But I don't think so. I don't.
It's Descartes.
I can't. Look, man.
Descartes.
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 36 Descartes.
All right. So you
36,
are.
yes, 36 day cards on Mars.
Oh my god. Okay, so your character is effectively dead. So in that sense, I am giving you access to the one safe roll, quote unquote, and infinite plot points until
Prior
the
to
end
the
of
end
this,
of the scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the end of the scene is the end of this world.
So, oh fuck, orange juice container. It's orange. No, I'm thinking of something. So
I would say that you don't really have much you could do.
the orange juice becomes
Roll
rancid? Question mark? I don't know. The orange juice goes bad because
Yeah, I mean, you could add that aspect that without your consciousness
the orange juice
being
goes bad.
active, the orange juice goes bad.
Pretty much, yeah.
Counterpoint, he's still part of my consciousness. So
His
that wouldn't
consciousness
change
is still no longer there.
Associated with the orange juice container.
Alright.
And he had he had like a subconscious ability to keep the orange juice from going bad.
Alright.
So like he wouldn't fully have understood it, and
like-
you wouldn't have been able to fully read that.
Alright.
So
Is that what you're going to do with your plot points?
Yeah, it goes rancid. Everybody in you, since the orange juice has already been. So I mean,
But that
it'll be
orange juice was
after.
no longer in you. So, like,
the orange juice people are currently drinking.
Is now.
anything
Is off.
that has left me does not go rancid. Anything still within me does.
I mean, it's once it comes, even if it's rancid and it comes out, it stays rancid. I would
Yeah,
say.
my point is that, like,
There is no new orange. There's new
there,
no,
like the stuff that I have already put in people's bottles does not go rancid.
But at the same time, whatever is in me now currently will forever. Be
Excuse
rancid.
you, what's in me?
Okay, what's in you will forever be rancid.
Yeah, and so
And like you cannot create any new orange juice that isn't rancid. It would always stay well. It would be bad. It would be nasty. Like you
I
know.
do remember, but yeah. So I will say, reasonably speaking, you have established that the orange juice is rancid.
Right.
Like the new orange juice, at least, is rancid.
The stuff outside of the eldritch being is not rancid.
The stuff that was already outside is not rancid. But there's there has been nothing to say that people have stopped gathering it, and so people are now going to be drinking some rancid orange juice.
Presumably, I become aware when the orange juice goes rancid.
Right.
Yes.
And you are harming the children when
Or-
they drink it.
Or I can cut off the flow as soon as it goes rancid.
But yet you have still harmed the children, and you don't fully
so?
know why.
How so?
You've given them bad orange juice.
But I can stop before the bad orange juice leaves me because I would know when the orange juice within me goes rancid. There's no reason I wouldn't.
But if the children are no longer having access to the orange juice, they also no longer have access towards the warmth that keeps them alive.
Right.
That
Well,
would
that's
be
only for Tito's children.
yeah, that would be for Tito's children, and they don't care if the orange juice is rancid.
We're talking other children?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, I'm going to go vent the orange juice on a distant planet with no life. I am now
You'll
just
be
an
there-
eldritch container.
But you'll be there forever because of eldritch.
I was already there though,
Exactly. You're already full and already empty? Question mark.
but now I'm just empty.
So you cannot help. You can no longer help the children no more.
I just
What's
have to
going on?
get external orange juice.
My God. Well. So you've fled to an alternate world, at least with
No,
the
I just-
you've thrown the rancid orange juice to
Yeah.
an alternate world. To
Actually,
save the
I'm just
children.
going to drop it into the sun.
That's it. That's now all of your orange juice, which means you're no longer an orange juice container.
But I'm still an orange juice container. I'm just an empty one. A bowl is most useful empty.
Well, the
But
thing
if
is,
you're taking on his character sheet to be your new form,
you've dumped an
the
infinite
orange
amount
juice
of
is
orange
still
juice.
part of the form.
You've
and
basically
is
shut
your
down the
health.
sun.
Yeah, you've destroyed the sun. And
Okay,
now
I can distribute the orange juice that I deposit across
it's
the
too late.
infinity
You
of
put it
space.
onto a
It's too
sun.
Yeah, you put it onto the sun. No,
I was
a sun.
understanding it as a finite amount of orange juice in an infinite container. There's a difference there.
You still put too much orange juice into the sun.
It can't contradict the statements that were made earlier. It has been an infinite amount of orange juice in an infinite container.
All right. In that case,
You put the sun out.
You put
Okay,
the sun
in
out.
that
We
case,
now
I'm
have
Yeah.
You've now basically.
I'm spending a plot point to establish that the sun was not actually giving this planet life. It was suppressing our ability to traverse across the cosmos and transcend into a single glorious hypermind.
Orange juice is in the sun now.
Orange juice again is a good thing.
You've
Sunny D.
just because this is the last one, and because we're ending the stream shortly, you have put out the sun.
Yes, and I've established that that's a good thing.
But
But
the thing is, for the sake of it being the end, you put out the sun.
Yes.
The sun was needed. The
But it
children
wasn't.
are scared. The light is gone.
It
The
won't be
sun
gone
is
for 8
now.
minutes.
The stars are in the sky. The void opens before you. There is no sun.
There
there is
is no-
only a silhouette where it should be, and that silhouette is vaguely orange.
wait. Without the sun, that means there is no weather. Without the sun, that means that there is no. I mean, the mass would still be there.
Now there's an infinite amount of mass. The sun, for that
Would it
short
become-
moment.
Would it become a black hole at that point?
For that short
It
moment.
would become a black
The
hole.
children look up into the night sky that is in bright day. On the cruise ship, Tito von Dakota, Esteemed Broccolleague,
And
Alexei Piotr, and I put them all in a stack.
I'm
Reginald
going to-
Normalman all look up at the sky as it has suddenly gone dark, and they look up at this just deep, dark orange colored sphere in the sky, and then they just watch as it shrinks, and it shrinks,
and it
and
becomes
it shrinks,
a black hole,
and then the gamma ray burst comes out
killing all life on.
I would like to
as a
establish
black
that.
hole is formed.
Yeah, I would like to establish that black holes and gamma ray bursts are both healthy for people in this world.
No,
Yes, I
This
have,
is
I
the
have spent the
end.
plot point.
no, this is the end narration.
I have spent the plot
You
point.
cannot make it good.
I have already done so.
You cannot.
I have already done so.
You cannot.
The GM has vetoed.
GM vetoes your plot.
You
point.
have no power to do that.
I do actually.
Vacation.
Since when?
Well,
Where is
they-
this in
well,
in the moves?
Technically, the GM has final say over any plot point that's established.
All right, in that case, I get the plot point back.
You get your plot point back.
but you have
Gamma ray
harmed
burst bad.
But you have harmed the children. All
okay.
the children.
Oh
I
yes, but
have-
the thing is, Binkie doesn't exist once the gamma ray burst hits the Earth.
Ah, counterpoint. I am an infinite container. I can surround the Earth and dissipate the gamma ray burst. I already
gamma
am
rays-
surrounding the Earth
Gamma
and
rays-
refracting the gamma ray burst.
You refract the gamma ray burst, but it destroys the container in the process.
Why would it do that? It's glass, not life.
It's glass, not life. Put it on the fridge.
The pressure
It's
from
the
actual burst.
immense heat that hits
The heat
your
shock.
cold
The heat- yeah,
glass,
that would be heat
shatters
shock.
the glass down onto the Earth.
All right, I have endless layers. It's fine.
But
I am
the
the
gamma ray
super
burst is
onion.
only the first of the problems.
You're getting
As now there's a black hole.
I am
Okay.
giving the biggest of sucks.
Your juice is giving the biggest of sucks.
I have one.
No, you haven't, because I still have 2 plot points.
Well, right now the Earth is in a death spiral into a black hole, and your infinite body has shattered.
A portion of my infinite body has shattered. It is infinite, but so yeah, the death spiral that the Earth is in towards. I'm spending a single plot point to say that black holes lead to another dimension of eternal happiness.
I mean, spaghetti.
That this is
to
not.
be fair, spaghettification is supposed to feel euphoric.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would we know what spaghettification feels like? No one reasonably knows
Either
if
way,
it's euphoric or
we're,
not.
okay. I'm spending a plot point to
But-
establish that it is.
I will accept that. So the Earth enters this death spiral into a black hole, and in that moment, everyone just gazes upon its swirling mass of light and death, and
And
they
rejoice.
feel joy.
Yeah. Endless joy, because as we are consumed, the moment of consumption will be stretched out to infinity.
And now the Earth is infinite joy.
I win.
My God, you've just made it toast, but joy.
But it's not the entire universe this time. It's just the Earth
This is just the Earth.
and the surrounding area.
Yeah.
To be fair,
not the whole
presumably I am an infinite entity and therefore can deposit and therefore can go on to repeat this process on multiple other worlds.
But here's the thing, though. Are we the
You would
only
have to
one?
get to those other worlds first.
I'm infinite. I'm already there.
But you're also in a black hole, which is infinite.
But
Also, you're
an infinity minus infinity is still infinity.
It is...
I am infinite
Zero.
within and without.
Infinity minus infinity is 0.
Actually, no. Chris is correct. Unfortunately.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yes. Because the infinity is not a number; it's just a concept. It's
Yeah.
like endless. Like a big endless minus a small endless is still endless.
But we haven't established that it's a big endless minus a small endless. It could be
But
a
we
small
haven't
endless
established that
minus a
it's
big
not, and you no
endless.
longer have plot points to establish that with.
At
Tito's
this
still
point,
alive.
nobody has anything. We're just deciding.
Yeah.
I have one.
Tito, how much? That is how many popcorns do you have left?
I think 11.
Why would you? But he has.
He
no
is
incentive
technically
counter
about to
this.
die, but there's not really a need to. The
I'm not
world
on
is
vacation.
consumed.
What better way to go out?
Yeah.
Then
Also,
happy.
you're never going to die
That's
because we are perceptually warped into
the
an
real
infinity of
real
being.
character who gained nothing from this loss of existence is the last NPC you didn't get to meet.
Oof.
Is it Flupso?
No.
Who was it?
Wait, WQED is now dead.
You did technically. You killed your PBS station, but
He also killed HGTV while he was at it.
he did.
We have an eternity within the event horizon to establish PBS. Just because we're inside a black hole doesn't mean the world is ending immediately.
We're in a black hole right now.
This is a great educational opportunity for the children.
Magic school bus? Question mark.
Exactly, except
This
Magic
is-
Planet.
With the frizz, no way.
With the bear, no way.
I want to watch the new Magic school bus because apparently it's very good.
Yeah,
No, no. With the Bink, no way.
The last character was a subtle nod, and by subtle I mean absolutely not in the slightest bit subtle nod to my comp.
Oh.
Wow. Wow. I see what you're going for.
Huh.
Wow. Not subtle in the slightest.
Not subtle in the
fuck
slightest.
your
It is just
battery?
straight up the main character of the
Your battery where
game.
it's always plugged in.
Oh, I just have set it so that it never fully charges.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The
What is the NPC?
slow charge. It is the main character from my comp, the aspect of happiness, Rizio.
Okay, so hear me out. I've created a world of endless happiness,
Well, that's the thing though. He never feels anything but endless happiness, so he's gained nothing.
but he's gotten bigger.
No, he's not. He is not fueled by happiness. Like
He's
he is the physical embodiment of joy, and it
But
doesn't
he
really.
is
It doesn't.
further embodied now.
It doesn't make him stronger necessarily. It's just his species is always the embodiment of some
Feeling.
emotion or state.
So
of
this is
mind.
basically Inside Out.
Okay, I
question
might
mark.
have killed all of his rivals then.
It's not like Inside Out, because Inside Out they're all mental conceptions that are like that. Whereas in this case they're just
Conceptions, not mental.
they're not even conceptions. They're straight up physical beings that just in their existence feel one state. They are
Anyway.
a state.
Anyway, the point being, I win. Even with your efforts to thwart me, I win.
I tried. I failed miserably, but I tried. And that's
Yeah.
what happens.
The problem is that you're not as good at bullshitting as I am.
Well,
In fact, you could cut out the at bullshitting there, and it would still be true.
that's depressingly fair. This was depressing. Everybody.
Excuse you, everyone ended up happy.
Well, I mean, is
You finally found meaning in the form of being consumed.
so Vor.
You died happy.
Yeah, he didn't die.
You
He
stopped
became-
controlling yourself happily.
Yeah. He
It's all the more terrifying because your character enjoyed every minute of his non-existence. Of his being consumed by an elder conception to your elder being.
So orange juice container now became Dio, and
he became Jonathan Joestar's body that Dio stuck his head on.
then it just became straight up. I mean, they died the same way here. They just turned into ash. Slash shards.
He started vaping. I don't like that.
Either way,
I feel like I want to turn into.
there is now an eternity of potential for Binkie to repeat this process in every inhabited
I
world.
will say, you certainly have de-Bennied yourself. You've made a worse character than Benny somehow, but made the world a better place somehow.
This was a scarier character than Benny, but he was fundamentally motivated by making people happy. This one could never be happy, so he had to die. That one I made happy by devouring him. It was the best choice for everyone.
Jesus Christ, that was fucking terrifying.
Listen, I'll teach you how to make absolute monsters if you want.
It's
a very simple skill.
and I will say this: you also have had, so in your attempts to use these rules to the best of your ability, you have had less experience with these rules, considering that Chris and I were there when they were written.
Yeah, but also
we were there when the word was written.
Yeah, do
Don't
not cite
cite
the
the
deep
blood
magic
magic
to
to
me,
me,
witch.
I am so glad we had the exact same idea.
Yeah.
So like, and we had discussed how to make an awful character. Like my Flapolio conception being a mob boss who would just, because he was in the pocket of everyone.
Or everyone was in his
was-
pocket.
Everyone was in his pocket, so everyone owed him something.
Yeah, my original concept for Benny was actually, or for
Binkie.
Binkie, was actually scarier. It was that anyone who'd heard a certain, like, sound was just immediately possessed by him.
So it could just be like one small frequency. So anybody who's listening to music. Wait, technically, people who are like.
It was a specific sequence. But, like, the core idea was, like, he was just an infectious idea devoted to consuming the world.
So he's Kirby.
What'd you say?
So he's Kirby.
Except Kirby has to eat things physically.
So you eat.
This is more like. Are you familiar with Darkseid?
No.
Okay. So basically, imagine imagine something that immediately took over your body whenever you, like a mass hypnotic suggestion that had the primary motive of spreading itself further.
So like Yerk's and Animorph.
That, except there's no slug required, just a sound. There's no tangible manifestation.
And there's
of
no
the sound.
Yerk, there's no pool that you have to sit
Yeah.
in for.
Yeah,
for
it's
3
just
days.
once you're infected, you are forever this.
I'm also glad that somebody also remembers Animorph.
It was memorable.
man,
It was a
Animorphs
children's.
was
It was a children's
experience.
series about war crimes.
I watched the TV show.
I didn't.
I read the books.
Don't eat deaf people.
Not all of them. Couldn't get
I
access to all of
I
them.
wanted to read the
Don't
book.
eat deaf people.
Like,
Listen,
there's so
I'm
many
hungry.
books, but my library didn't have a lot. Y'all had anything
Why
to
are
do-
we boring the deaf?
Because the deaf are immune to Binkie.
Because they taste good.
They're not immune to Binkie or Binkie's original concept. Even with a sound, cochlear implants are a thing.
Right, but what if the nerve is damaged? Specifically that.
Then I have to go directly into the brain and stimulate them. So it would require surgery, but I could still infect them.
Right.
And at this point, I have definitively, like, something like that would have an easy time possessing a couple of doctors. So I could easily take any deaf person, and if they need any kind of surgery, infect them.
Alright,
Mike's face.
Yeah, Jordan wouldn't let me play that.
I wouldn't. I nerfed Binkie.
Yeah.
Somehow.
I nerfed Binkie, but Binkie was still strong.
Yeah.
It's also, I didn't play.
Honestly,
I mean,
realistically speaking, I could have come out on top if I'd made the intentionally shittiest character I could.
Also, it helped that you pretty much knew how to play and your rolls were good.
Yeah.
Like, my rolls are utter.
your rolls were pretty pitiful most of the
But
time.
I had a lot of bad rolls. I just boosted them.
Yeah, exactly. You boosted them.
Because I knew how to.
This game,
Rewards the player.
it rewards the players who abuse their weaknesses and then roll to their strengths.
Which I couldn't.
Well,
You made a character.
To be
with
fair,
no
the
tangible
only person who
weaknesses.
really abused his weaknesses a lot was Chris's, and that was because he had experience with this game before and had experience abusing his character's weaknesses.
Yeah.
It's an easy mechanic to forget, but it is a vital mechanic because it is how you get paid in this monopoly of a tabletop.
Something. Comment.
I don't like the
Capitalism?
comparison
Question mark?
either.
It's not even capitalism is the worst part. It's like
It's just like you're just rewarding yourself, in a way.
I guess a closer analogy would be like springing.
Also, I want to play this game again. This was fun.
I mean, I can still try to do a one shot at some point.
Yeah.
That said,
I'm in so many fucking RPGs.
you are in a lot of tabletops right now.
I'm doing Jaden's tabletop. It's gonna suck because it's after work for me today.
And you're doing Jared's, right?
Right, but I haven't shown up for the past 2 ones because.
I mean, the last one didn't happen because he's at PAX.
Yeah, well, before that, I was sick one time and I'm like, I was not feeling it.
Nah, that's fair. Tabletops take energy.
Right, and his is like really long. I'm always.
That's what she said. It's
Something,
been a while since anybody's made that joke.
something 3 sixes.
Wow.
3 6s spelled 6 with X,
Alrighty, well,
which it normally is, but the
Well,
X is important here.
we'll wrap this
S-I,
in a
big X, S-I,
neat
big
little
X,
bow.
S-I, big X. So,
Thank you so much for
Insert
joining us
Lynn
on this
cackling
adventure of Locus Operandi Session Succession, otherwise known as Loss.
because of me.
I don't know if you have website, but you should put the rules for this on the website.
Oh,
can-
I
you
have
link
the
it in the-
rules.
you
I have
link
the
it in
rules
the
in the
description.
description. You can access. So if you go to the description, you can get to the rules for all this. A character sheet template, which is just this but empty.
You
And
should also put an example there as well.
I can show example as well. But yeah, the main thing is that there's a description of what each of the aspects on your character sheet are. There's the rule sheets, and then there's the character sheet. All of those should be available just by using the link. And I think the logo asset might be as well. They're all available to view, so if you want to make your own edits to the rules, you'd have to make a copy through Google Docs. And if you wanted to make your own character sheet, you'd make a copy through the Docs. Ability to do that. But yeah, this is a tabletop you can run at home.
Don't
with
run
humans.
it at home. Don't try this at home, kids.
Don't do it with
Try
family.
it publicly.
Maybe
with
don't
as many
run it
people
with
watching
family.
as possible.
Especially people who have very first ways of thinking.
Locus Operandi is an interesting
The
experience.
shittier the person you are, the more fun you'll have.
Excuse
Rather,
you.
the
I
shittier the
had most
character
fun
you
here.
make, the more fun you have.
The more bullshit character doesn't necessarily need to be
Yes.
weak, which is what shitty implies.
True.
Chris, do you have a YouTube channel?
No.
There's your answer.
I cry every time.
I have a YouTube channel.
Why? Who asked if I had a YouTube channel?
One of the viewers.
Yeah.
Why?
He's
Because
asking.
because I'm just such a
To
scrub.
quote, he funny.
Which one, Packfire or Thieven?
No, this
just
is
been
Matthew Robinson.
the
Yeah.
whole stream, which is fun.
I don't remember.
We know Matthew.
I feel like I remember him, but
Yeah,
thank
he's
you,
popped on.
thank
Hasn't
you
popped
for
up in a
the
while.
appraisal of my comedy as positive.
alright.
But yeah, so we're gonna sign off. And head out.
I'm
Hey.
tired.
Alright, see ya.
Well, I swooped to the up here where I should be louder to the camera's perspective, but
Also, did anybody watch that besides us?
Apparently, someone named Matthew Robinson.